Another exciting season comes to a close for the CIF Southern Section. I'm Taylor Martinez and I'm at the Toyota Arena in Ontario, which played host to some of our basketball finals, which were extremely great matchups, by the way. This season's championships included 20 basketball games, 18 soccer games, girls and boys wrestling masters meets, 9 dual wrestling matchups, 7 water polo games, and 13 cheer divisions. We have lots to get to, so let's get right to it. It's time for CIF Southern Section This Week. With the court right here and fresh on our minds, let's jump right into what's arguably the best basketball in California. Tarek, I know basketball is a sport that really has your heart. Let's talk about some standout moments from these matchups.
There were 20 basketball champions crowned on Friday and Saturday, and I gotta get through all of it, so I'm gonna jump right into it. Here we go. We're gonna jump right into it. Roosevelt versus Notre Dame of Sherman Oaks, the boys open division final. And what better way to start it and show how high level this is? Tyron Stokes, #1 junior in the country, with a dunk to start it off. Little dish off to Zach White. Notre Dame Sherman Oaks was rolling early. This is arguably one of the most talented teams in America. Tyron Stokes, Zach White, Lino Mark, Navarro Bowman, the list goes on. Braden Burries, the 5-star All-American, was getting going for Roosevelt, but Miles Walker, little #2, they're going to leave me open? Fine, I'll knock down the 3. He knocked down 5 of them in this game for 19 points. So early, quick start for Notre Dame. Roosevelt just started to take over. 3 balls raining in the Toyota Arena, which had almost about 15,000 people coming in it through this Saturday. Tyron Stokes, another give and go. Zach White, give me 2 of those. So this game was close throughout, but Braden Burries, 17 of his 19 points came in the second half. He showed why he's a 5-star McDonald's All-American. Look at that bucket over Tyron Stokes and one. Give it to me. He made the free throw. Roosevelt continued to build its lead, but this was the big shot from Isaac Williamson, the New Mexico commit. Extends the lead from 3 to 6, and the Mustangs go on to win their first CIF Southern Section Open Division Championship. They get back to the final after falling short to Harvard Westlake last year. Coach Steven Singleton, who coached Tyson Chandler back in the day, for those old basketball heads, he gets another one. The Mustangs are champs. Right over to the girls' open division final. Ontario Christian loaded with talent against Etiwanda, who was making its 4th straight open division finals appearance. This game was all about freshman Tati Griffin. This is sophomore Kalina Smith with the floater in the lane. The #1 sophomore in the country, UConn's Gino Ariema, is after her. But Griffin continuing to make shots on this big stage. Only a 9th grader. She had 29 points and 12 rebounds. Of course, Etiwanda, like they say in basketball, everyone makes a run, and Etiwanda had their own. Puff Morris, Grace Knox, the 2 McDonald's All-Americans, but it was Kalina Smith with the dipsy-do and dazzle for the finish there. Grace Knox, 3-ball, good. She's going to LSU. Etiwanda was making a surge, but who was it that made the big shots at the end of the game? Tati Griffin, the freshman. As they say, a diaper dandy. Ontario Christian lifts the CIF Southern Section Open Division plaque for the first time in school history. Bunch of freshmen and sophomores on that roster. They're sticking around. On to the Division I boys final. Mira Costa starts with a dunk to start this game. This was a public school face-off. The first time 2 public schools have met in the Division I final since 2018. Despite a nice start from Mira Costa, it was all Los Alamitos. Trent Miner, 14 points, 11 rebounds, and the Griffins dance their way to a Division I championship. Coach Nate Berger showing the plaque to the crowd. Los Alamitos, the champs. That wasn't the only drama from the weekend. We jump over to the 2A final between St. Bonaventure and Canyon of Canyon Country. Charlie Adams, a freshman. The onions on this young man. Hits the big 3 to send this game into overtime with a CIF title on the line. but it would be short-lived. Canyon of Canyon Country lifts its first CIF Southern Section Championship. Noah Madrigal, bank 3-ball from the wing. It goes down, and bedlam ensues at Azusa Pacific. The Cowboys win 89-86. Shout out to the Oak Park girls basketball team, now the defending 2AA champions. They've won 3 in a row, but the storyline here is head coach Will Burr. He's won 4 straight with 2 different schools in the same window of seasons. That's right. We've had coaches win 4, 5, 6 in a row, but none have won 4 with 2 different teams in the same span. Will Burr, the Division I champion, the Viewpoint girls basketball Division I bracket in 2022, and 3 straight with the Oak Park Eagles. Salute to Will Burr. Those were the major storylines and big-time games for the CIF Southern Section Championships on Friday and Saturday. Don't forget, the section crowns 20 boys and girls champions in basketball. 10 boys, 10 girls, lots of divisions, lots of high-level basketball. We only mentioned about a handful, maybe half a dozen, so here we go. I'm going to run down all the champions that were crowned over the weekend. Get ready for a sip of water out of a fire hydrant. Going from the top divisions down, we're going to start with the girls Division I champion. Rancho Christian beats Brentwood 58-48. The Eagles claim their second CIF title in 3 seasons, led by Gonzaga commit Julia Wilson, 22 points, 8 rebounds.
Go Eagles!
Go Eagles!
2AA boys champion is Fairmont Prep. They beat league foe Pacifica Christian of Orange County 64-60 in overtime. David Abisogun, 20 points, 15 rebounds. Pacifica Christian's EJ Spillman, 29 points, but it wasn't enough. In the boys 3AA game night, where Paul George went to school, Tom Heggery, the longtime coach, still going at it. He lifts a CIF championship with a win over Sage Hill, 64-43. In the girls 3AA game, Mark Keppel gets the best of Cerritos, 49-39. Keppel freshman Alyssa Canizal, 11.7 rebounds, 5 steals. That's the program's first ever CIF title. Boys 3A, Aquinas 59, San Dimas 41, Malachi Jones, a game-high 17 points for Aquinas. In the 3A girls title game, El Toro beats Cantwell Sacred Heart 52-48. 7 players logged time for El Toro, a short rotation, but 3 scored in double figures, led by Bridget Boyd's 14 points. El Toro, the 3A champions. Division 4AA Santiago beats Ramona 64-49, its first ever CIF title, led by Jordan De La Mora, 28 points for the Santiago man, 64-49 again, Santiago, the 4AA champs. In the 4AA Girls Championship, Tesoro beats Sarah of Gardena 59-46. In the Boys 4A Championship, California over Citrus Hill 63-47. In the Girls 4A Final, Pilibos wins its first CIF Championship over La Mirada 55-40. In the Boys 5AA Final, Kaiser 61, Diamond Ranch 48. Antonio Camarano had a monster game, 17 points, 20 rebounds in a championship performance. Hillcrest wins the 5AA Championship in a 39-36 victory over Santa Ana. In the Division 5A Championship boys game, Arroyo 50, Rosemead 36, Elijah Gonzalez 14 points on 5 of 8 shooting. Luis Ventura adds 12 points and 9 rebounds in the victory. Rise Anderson 22 points for Rosemead, but it wasn't enough. In the girls 5A final, Gabrielino 38, Rosemead 23. Kamika Nagata led Gabrielino with a team-high 15 points and 5 rebounds. Taylor, those are your CIF Southern Section champions. Back to you.
As always, thank you, Tarek. And this is a great moment to toss you a Dr. John Dalem history tidbit. Did you know the CIF Southern Section Basketball Championship game in 1915 was played inside a gym for the first half and on an outdoor court for the second half? And with that, we move from the court out to the fields. Happening concurrent to basketball was CIF Southern Section-Ford Soccer Championships. 36 teams and 18 divisions between boys and girls, making for over 850 athletes taking to the field. Let's check it out. Santa Margarita and Santiago of Corona found themselves in a rematch of last year's Open Division matchup. Last year, Santiago won 2-0. This year, Santa Margarita takes it 4-2. Round 3 next year. With just 8 minutes left in regulation, Mater Dei scored a pair of goals to take home their Division I title over Troy. 2-1 Mater Dei. In Division II, the Warren Bears took home their first title following a 2-1 victory over Thousand Oaks. The goalies in the Division III matchup between Long Beach Poly and Foothill were putting in the work. Foothill sophomore Taylor Bryant's header was the only goal scored, giving the Knights a 1-0 win over the Jackrabbits. Division IV was a penalty shootout after Sage Hill and La Mirada ended regulation and 2 overtimes scoreless. PKs ended with a 4-3 win for Sage Hill. The 4-hour bus ride to Menifee paid off for Viewpoint as they came out on top in their 2-1 game against Heritage for the Division V title. Another PK shootout took place in the Division VI finals between Thatcher School and Whittier Christian. Freshman goalkeeper Charlotte Molinex both saved and converted those PKs, helping the Toads to their 5-4 win and first title. A big celebration for Division VII's Vista del Lago as their 3-2 victory over Marshall marks the school's very first team title in any sport. And a big win for Temecula Prep with 5 goals to South El Monte's 1 to cap off the girls' divisions. Moving right into the boys' brackets, J. Sarah took home their second title in 3 years, beating Loyola 2-0 in the Open Division. Bishop Amat and Sultana were both looking for their first program titles, but Bishop Amat took the honors this year with a 3-1 win. Harvard Westlake also brought home their first boys' soccer title following their Division II 1-0 win over Harupa Hills. Warren came out on top over Anaheim in Division III, making for a fantastic year for Warren soccer, with both the ladies and gents securing the W's. Final score there was 3-0. Laguna and Yucaipa went head-to-head in Division IV, ending in a 3-2 win for Laguna, and gave Laguna's head coach Andy Thomas his third CIF title over 2 tenures. Division V was Dominguez versus Desert Mirage. Dominguez held Desert Mirage at 2-0 to take the win. The Dons have found themselves as runner-up 3 times. This was their first win. A golden goal leads Channel Islands to a 2-1 win over St. Margaret's in Division VI. Pasadena Poly takes home their second title after shutting out Glenn 3-0. And to close things off, St. Monica Prep beats Chadwick 2-0 to take home their first boys soccer championship in their first ever finals appearance. A big shout out to all of the high school videographers who helped me out filming both soccer and basketball. I had students from El Dorado, Northview, Elsinore, Beckman, St. Genevieve, Edgewood, and Bishop Amat. You all rock. After the break, we're talking all thing wrestling, duels, masters, it's all coming up. And later, we're going poolside. Don't go anywhere. CIF Southern Section this week. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CIF Southern Section this week. Before the break, we took a look at the CIF Southern Section-Ford Basketball and Soccer Championships. And now it's time to head to the wrestling mats. Let's take a quick look at our champions out of our dual meets, starting first with the girls. Division I went to Corona, Division II, Santa Ana, and Division III, Roosevelt. On the boys' side, Division I, St. John Bosco, Division II, Esperanza, Division III, Sultana, Division IV, South Torrance, Division V, Pacifica Oxnard, and Division VI went to Santa Ana, giving both their girls and boys teams a dual meet championship title. Congratulations to you all. I was at the Santa Ana matches, both boys and girls, and I couldn't believe the energy in that gym. After the girls took on El Toro, both teams were just happy to be there and really brought the fun, all dancing, just being together and celebrating the ladies of the sport. Check it out. Three of those Lady Saints were the Serrato sisters. 3 sisters on one team. You know I had to chat with them. This is Alicia, Angelica, and Annabelle. They're a powerhouse of 3 sisters working their way to the top of the girls' wrestling ranks.
Wrestling teaches you a lot, not only about the sport, but about life in general and all these life lessons.
Girls wrestling may still be at the start of its high school history, but these 3 found themselves on the mats well before hitting age 10.
Growing up, we were on the sport everywhere we went. My dad coached at Tribuco Hills High School, and that's kind of where everything started.
They're seeing and experiencing firsthand the growth of the sport and the history it's making. Annabelle was even the first in Santa Ana High School history to win a wrestling championship as a freshman.
I remember going to tournaments and we had one girl in our bracket. We were like, guys, there's a girl in our bracket. Like, we're so lucky. It's just exploded and it's the coolest thing to see.
3 fierce sisters under one roof, yet the competitive edge can't break this sisterly bond.
Oh, trust me, we drive each other crazy. At practice, I want to fight her, and then I want to yell at her.
At the end of the day, we go home smiling.
And we laugh about it.
Yeah, we laugh about it. I think out of anything, we drive our dad crazy more than we drive each other crazy.
Yeah.
This was Alicia's last high school season. Annabelle has 2 more, and Angelica has 3, with college creeping closer and closer. But for now, it's all about soaking in the thrill of this season.
There's no better support than the people that are always right by you.
So great meeting them, super excited to see where they go in this sport. All 3 of them also took part in the Masters meet this year. Here's a look at the Masters results, along with some words from our champions.
I can't begin to describe the feeling I felt like when I heard the crowd cheering, like when my hand was raised. It was just a feeling I'll never forget.
Last year I didn't even place at Masters. I lost in the blood round, so winning Masters for me was a really big deal for me.
I was really nervous, especially for my finals. I wrestled that girl, including this time 3 times. I lost her the other 2 times.
I just wanted to make my dad proud and I wanted to make my mom proud. And just feels like just such a blessing. I'm so grateful to be here.
Started off with a good win at Doc B, and today ended with a good win at Masters. And I'm very proud of myself, and now it's off the state to quit.
I wasn't supposed to beat that guy. He's ranked 10 in the state. I'm ranked 17, but we got it done.
Going into this match, I was a little nervous. I've lost discipline before, but I stayed calm, wrestled through the match, and ended up getting the victory. So.
As always, you can head to our website for more in-depth results. After the break, we head to the pool deck, and later we're back inside on different mats for traditional competitive cheer. A day on the pool deck at Mount San Antonio College is bound to be a good day, especially when the weather's in our favor. This takes us to the girls water polo finals. 7 games played, 14 fierce teams, 6 of those teams making history as it was their school's first finals appearance. Let's dive right in. Oaks Christian versus Newport Harbor. Both of these teams took OT victories in the semis to secure their spot in the finals, which resulted in the Lions' victory over the Sailors 7-5. An open division matchup full of talent. Lions' Mia Fabros and Sailors' Madison Mack both led their teams with 3 goals each. Junior goalkeeper Alexandra Stoddard also had a great game with 11 saves for the Lions.
I'm so happy. We prepared for that. We've been training all year for it. We deserved it.
Congratulations to the ladies of Oaks Christian for securing their first open division title, making history for their school. Division 1 was a sudden death overtime win for Laguna Beach over San Clemente.
Big shout out to our 3 seniors because they are the ones who, we put the team on their backs pretty much all year. And at the end, it's a steal to Kara, one of the seniors out on the counter, and then draws a penalty for Presley, the other senior, to finish it. Sienna in goal, making huge blocks all game, and it just was obviously the perfect way to end the season.
This is a super special team, one of the most special teams I've ever played on, and we've worked super hard all season. So to come out on top, there's no better feeling.
The final score was 10-9. A fun connection from Division 1 to Division 2, head coach Katie Teets, who you just saw there from Laguna, is a former player of Brian Linton, who's the head coach for the Division 2 champions, the Murrieta Valley Nighthawks.
I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for Brian Linton. It's pretty incredible that we could be back to back here.
I'm really happy to see her in this game with that program. That's a really good program at Laguna Beach. She's done a great job with those girls.
As for his team's game that night, the Nighthawks took on Downey and took a quick lead, getting the first 4 goals of the game, half of their total, in the first quarter. Murrieta Valley secured the title over Downey 8-6. Division 3 was a record-breaking game. The matchup between Elsinore and Flint Ridge Sacred Heart ended with a 21-13 victory for Elsinore, securing the program's first ever title. Their 21 goals is the most scored by a team in a Southern Section girls water polo final. The 34 combined goals also surpassed the section's previous championship matchup record of 30. All credits to Eric John Paul of the Press Enterprise for those fun facts. He knows his water polo. San Dimas showed up for their school's first finals appearance to make it a memorable one, taking the Division IV title over Troy. San Dimas came out hot in the first quarter, getting 5 on the board and held strong defense throughout the game, allowing Troy only 2 goals, both of which were in the first quarter. Final score was 9-2. El Dorado wrote their names in the history books as well, securing a big win over Santa Paula, 16-4. The Hawks were on quite a run in the second quarter, scoring 7 goals within 6 minutes. Senior Kalina Shun had 5 goals to cap off her last high school season.
Having a big win like that after all our team has been through means a lot, especially being a senior.
Have you ever tried out for a sport as a bet and then ended up winning a championship ring out of it? Yeah, me either. But Anaheim's Jocelyn Briceño can't say the same. I caught up with her right as she was climbing out of the pool following Anaheim's 5-3 win over Nordhoff.
I joined as a bet, which is kind of crazy to me to be here. And I'm just really proud of my teammates and how far we've come.
Up next, we're talking cheer. We'll be right back. The CIF Southern Section-Ford Traditional Competitive Cheer Championships was the first CIF Finals of 2025. The 2-day event took place at Martin Luther King High School in Riverside with over 140 schools and over 2,500 athletes participating.
Give yourself a big round of applause. Incredible performances.
I'm so proud of every single one of you guys, and hard work pays off for sure.
Hearing the name called second that wasn't us was amazing this year because every year we've fallen just a little short. It was just an emotional moment for my team.
We've had a few trials and tribulations as a team, but today it was really important for us to show up for ourselves and for our routine and for our coaches and just be able to really prove for ourselves that we are stronger than any setback that comes our way.
This feels surreal. I don't feel like this is real. We worked so hard for this. I can't take the credit. The credit is due to every single one of our teammates.
Put in a lot of hard work this season, had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of changes these past couple of months, and obviously when we heard our name called, we knew it was all worth it.
As you just saw, it was another busy and exciting championship season for the Southern Section. Now the weather is getting nicer, and you know what that means. Next stop, spring sports. See you next time on CIF Southern Section This Week.